Oh boy, we're we're back again. Bad news. Sony. Can I just go a day with some good news, please? Actually, there is good news. I'll show that in the next video. But yeah, Jason Schreier over on Blue Sky says, breaking, Sony is shutting down Bluepoint Games, the studio responsible for the modern remakes of classic games such as Demon Souls and Shadow of Colossus. Bloomberg News has learned a shocking end for a well-respected studio. Oh, Sony, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is by far the biggest fumble. Like, this entire generation has been a big fumble with your live service, okay? It is insane, okay? There was someone that had a tweet recently, and I can't remember what it was. I'd have to go look for it. I think it was Rhino. So let me, was it Rhino that had the tweet? I can't remember. There was one tweet that was there that was absolutely Bro, where is this? I don't know. I don't know. Rhino. Is that his name? Is that not his name? I could have swore that was his name. Does he spell it with a Y? Oh well. Doesn't show up, I guess. But yeah. Sony have shut down one of the most important and I mean the most important dev they have. As we were aware at last year at some point, we found out they were making a God of War live service game. What the fuck are Bluepoint doing in a live service game? They're supposed to be remaking games. If anything, we had this PlayStation State of Play literally 2 weeks ago by now. Okay? And what popped up was Sony Santa Monica remaking from the ground up the God of War trilogy. Do you know who could have been doing that? Bluepoint. But you had them making a live service game. And you could be like, oh, well, Sony Santa Monica kind of knows what the... You could literally have gotten Bluepoint to do it. They have done Demon Souls. And speaking of Demon Souls, what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to actually, play the game. That's what we're going to do. We're actually going to play some Demon Souls right now. So let me just get this all up and going here. Where am I? There I am. Let's turn the volume up on this. We're going to play some Demon Souls in honor of remembering such a fantastic team. Yeah? So let's just... And just for clarification, I have 100% of this game. Oh wait, you can't see there. Look at that. Over 100, almost 100 hours here. I've platinumed the game. This is by far still one of the best looking games on the PlayStation 5. Alright, so we're just going to quickly make someone, let's call him Larry. Fuck it, we'll call him Larry. Or Lar. Look how good this game looks, by the way, yeah? I can't believe what... I mean, this doesn't really matter, but yeah, sure, the fire bombs. Yeah, we don't care about anything like that, but...
King Alant the
this
12th,
game,
by channeling the power of souls,
is one of the reasons
brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom.
Let's... Would you like to play Journey to Nexus? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's start the tutorial. But my god, okay. Why, in God's name, do we have, look, can you see how good this game is? Is it showing up good for you? It looks good for me. I don't know why. For some reason, he had them make a God of War game. That was a live service. I mean, you could have made them make a God of War game. You could have made them make the God of War remake. You could have made them do all three. And that could have been that. But no, you made them waste 5 years of the team's development cycle just for it to be like, nah, no, we're going to cancel this. And you know what happens then? Sooner or later, you close them down. And you know what's even more hilarious? Fucking Haven Studios is still up, and they're the ones that make fair games. Tell me one person who's looking forward to a Halo studio game. Name one person. Can you name one person? Because I don't think I can, Sony. Like, this is the worst decision you made. And, bear in mind, Bluepoint helped co-develop God of War Ragnarok. Alright? If there was a team that was going to be, you know, capable of taking over the God of War remake, it should have been them. I'm absolutely bewildered and baffled from what is actually occurring. I woke up to this news. I turned, like, not the most healthiest thing to do. I woke up at 8 p.m. because I work night shift. So I woke up. First thing I do when I see on Twitter /X was I saw that it said Sony has shut down Bluepoint, and I was just like, I thought it was one of those, you know, like fake accounts or something. But no. It was Wario64 that reposted it, and I saw it was actually Bloomberg. Like, how in God's name do we still have fair games up? I feel sorry for Sony Bend, because they were also working on a live service game. They were working on Siphon Filter, and that was also cancelled. But the people to really like point the finger at this generation, it's Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan. All right, obviously Jim Ryan isn't around anymore. He got, you know, pushed out. But I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? What we could have had this generation with all of the amazing Sony IP. This team had Shadow of the Colossus and Ico back on the PlayStation 3. They've also done the Uncharted, an Uncharted game. I think they did the trilogy. They remade the trilogy, you know? So that's another trilogy to their name. They could have made anything from Jak and Daxter. They could have made anything from Sly Cooper. They could have made anything from Ratchet and Clank, along with Killzone. And that's just a few things. They could have made an Uncharted game. They could have made, you know, the one thing that people wanted them to make was the goddamn Bloodborne game. Why? Like, how can you mess this up so bad? How in God's name can you mess this up so bad? I've seen everybody online kind of talk about the same thing, where it's like, this is the worst mismanagement from a studio in a while, and that's saying something compared to Xbox's Microsoft. Like, they have mismanaged Tango Gameworks. We all saw Hi-Fi Rush. It's probably one of the best Xbox games in the last like 5 years, bar Horizon, and they just closed your studio down. Like, how can Sony acquire like 7 studios since 2020 and close 4 of them? And like, don't forget, like, if Marathon is bad, like, if Marathon does not succeed, like, Bungie is bye-bye, you know? And like, Bungie are the next to go. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen. And like, give it another year, because as we saw recently that the next expansion for Destiny has been delayed by like 4 months. We're supposed to be out in 3 weeks. So this is very worrying times for PlayStation. Like, so what we like, I'm gonna make a bold prediction now, okay? I've been thinking about it. So I feel like Cory Barlog's game is between 2 games. So that is like the next game to be shown. Well, it'll be shown later this year, okay? And I needed to do that anyway. So I feel like it's either going to be a new Castlevania 3D game. I know we just got the announcement of a Castlevania game, but I feel like there might be another one, and Cory Barlog's the one that's making it. Or this is just like my head working in a crazy way because it's something I kind of want. It could be a new Metal Gear Solid Rising game. I know that sounds crazy, but like, you know, you never know. You never know. And with that, you know,
Well, you slipped through the fissure
being said,
too, did you?
it could be any of those. But I'm just kind of like rambling about other things. I need to go back to just talking about Blue Point. Yeah, but look at this game. This game's loading times, by the way, are absolutely insane. They're insane. That's one thing I will give them. Like, how fast that you die, come back. Everything is just insane. This is, but like, bar, like, I want to say, bar, okay. Bar, the Horizon Zero, is it Zero Dawn? Or Forbidden West? Horizon Forbidden West. Besides that, this is the best looking game. And this was one of the first games that came out, man. So, it's just so crazy. How is it that Sony want, like, what was it? They had like 12 live service games in development. And so far, Marathon is one of them. It was supposed to be The Last of Us factions. That never got to see the light of day. So I was trying to think. There was definitely others. So obviously God of War. Then there was the Siphon Filter. Just trying to think. What? There definitely was more. Oh yeah, don't forget Concord, the biggest failure in gaming history, may I add. As well as there was that other team, I can't remember. There's another team that I actually don't know if they're still making a game or whatever, but if I was Haven Studios and seeing that Blue Point have been announced to be shut down, how are you supposed to be confident that you're going to be living for next week? Like, how is that going to be possible for most teams? I just don't see it being possible. Like, Sony has just... And I love Sony, alright? I love playing games on my PlayStation. I absolutely just want to play as many games as I can. You know? That's what I want from on this console. But the fact that every so often there will be just a minor mishap, and I just want them to just release some good games. Is it that hard? Is it that hard to release single-player games? Like, most of the people that buy a PlayStation bought it for single-player experiences. High fidelity, bro. I'm gonna die. Like, high fidelity PlayStation games. Alright. And we're out here getting, like, barely any games. And the cycle of games are taking even longer than ever. Can't believe we forgot about that. Oh boy. Anyway, as I was saying, the cycle of games is taking way too long now. The only team I've seen that are doing things quite well are Square Enix. They're about to release Part 3, or announce it later this year, and it is... what? It should release next year in 2027, so that is 3 games in 7 years, as opposed to some other teams, it's taking them 7 years to release 1 game, which is absolutely insane. Like, how is it that... oh my god. How is it that we are just pushing this live service game? I know Helldivers was pretty well, you know, a big fucking... let's just look at this here. Look how fast the loading times are. I know that Helldivers is an anomaly and like it's even launched on Xbox, you know, but this is just a joke. Like, look at the world that they built. This is absolutely phenomenal. Like, we're never going to get another Blue Point game, and that depresses me. We thought we would have one by now. Like, you ask any PlayStation fan who's been a fan of Blue Point, they all would have thought the same thing as me. Oh, we would have gotten some sort of remake by now. And I know that Blue Point didn't want to be the team that made remakes, but hey, you're gonna need a job, and look what happens now. You're put on a live service, and that hasn't worked. Bro, that hasn't worked out. So it's so unfortunate what has happened. Like, all we can do is dead again. Yeah, we're not gonna do too much. But yeah, that is the news. What does PlayStation do next? I'm baffled that we are a week away from the server slam for Marathon, and then 3 days later the game launches, and then after that it's Saros, and then after that we kind of don't know really much, bar we know that Wolverine's coming later in the year. There needs to be another state of play, or something has to be said, because it is quite disappointing about what I'm seeing online. Like, they had one of the best teams, in my opinion, that could easily do remakes and remasters. But no, you have Santa Monica doing a remake from the ground up when you could have had Blue Point do it. I don't know, man. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm so disappointed. I hope someone kind of swoops in and buys them, like someone did for Xbox when they bought Tango Works. Like, I would absolutely love it if Konami swooped in and they did some Metal Gear remakes or something like that. That would be insane. But yeah, it's been Davey Boy. It's been sad news, but if anything else is on the rise, we'll talk about it later. So until the meantime, peace out.